Every year in astrophotography, I kind of just wing it and figure out what I'm going to do as I go. But this year, I have a New Year's resolution and I want to share that with you. Welcome back, Beardos, and like I said in the intro, most of the time I just kind of wing it throughout the year, and this year I want it to be a little different. I want to plan things out a little bit more when it comes to my astronomy and astrophotography, and I wanted to share those things with you. So if that sounds okay, let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing I want to do a little differently this year is I want to take advantage of galaxy season. Now, fun tidbit, in the spring in the northern hemisphere, the Earth is kind of positioned in such a way where we're not looking so much at the Milky Way, and what that means is we're able to see outside of the Milky Way, and so that's why it's called the galaxy season. And during that time, you can see a lot of galaxy clusters and a lot of the other larger galaxy kind of start to show up. Last year, I had a hard time with this for a number of reasons. The first was really most of the galaxies you need a long focal length telescope to see. So I have an Edge HD 1100, which is very long in focal length, but like I said in my other video, it's a little bit hard to use, and so that was one issue that I had last year. The second thing that I had trouble with is I only had a monochrome camera, and the monochrome camera is great for nebulae and even for galaxies, but the combination of learning how to do both things in monochrome and at the longer focal length made it hard for me. And last year I really didn't get many galaxies. I think I took a picture of a couple of very large ones. So this year I have something special, something new. I actually purchased it last year. I have this ASI 2600 MC Pro. I'm really excited to use this specifically for galaxies. And I plan on taking things both in the longer focal length as well as the shorter focal length. So I plan on still using my 80mm William Optics scopes for some of the targets, but I'll be working on the longer focal length using my 0.7x reducer on my Edge HD 1100, along with this camera, and seeing what I can get out of it. So that is something I'm super excited about, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's actually starting here very soon, so looking forward to that. One of the other things I wanted to let you guys know about too, when you're imaging galaxies and imaging things at longer focal length, as I said in my previous videos, you do need a more accurate polar alignment. So during galaxy season, one of the things I do plan to learn how to do is drift align, and hopefully if that works really well, I'll also do a video on that as well. Alright, the other thing that I did want to focus on in 2021 is better RGB processing. Now, narrowband imaging is great. It produces some really amazing images, but RGB images are actually much tougher. And the reason for that is, one, you're fighting more of the light pollution, so the post-processing is much more difficult on RGB imaging. So I do want to plan on that, and there was actually a target that I wanted to get last year that I didn't have a chance to get because I didn't have all the right equipment, and that's Rho Ophiuchi. So starting I believe in late June, July, early July, Antares will come up, and Rho Ophiuchi will be in the position for me to image it, and that's one of the targets that I really would like to do. I'd like to do a 4-panel mosaic on that area in the sky. That particular nebula really needs to be done in broadband, so it needs to be done in RGB, and doing a 4-panel mosaic, that was kind of a similar thing to galaxies. I didn't have a color camera last year around this time, and so I missed the target. When you're doing a 4-panel mosaic in RGB, having to collect so much data. I did one this year. It was very difficult. The image that I took was the Orion Molecular Complex. That was really difficult to do. So I plan on taking the Ophiuchi image, the Mosaic, with my one-shot color camera. But I'm really excited about that. That's a target that I've been wanting to get for a while. So super excited about that. And that's one of the things I do want to focus on this year as well. And one of the things with the Ophiuchi last year, I had, a wide field telescope, and I had my monochrome camera, and I forgot how many panels. I think it was going to be at least an 8-panel image, maybe even more. But like 8 panels using a monochrome camera, you have to take 4 filters, and it was a nightmare. There was no way I was going to do it. So this year, one-shot color camera, the ASI 2600 MC Pro, and I will use the 135 millimeter lens, and that will allow me to get a 4-panel Mosaic, and I should be able to collect it in just a few nights, and then just focus really on the processing. The other thing this year I really want to focus on is planetary photography. Now, a lot of people might find this funny, but because a lot of people find it a little bit easier than deep space astrophotography. For me, I find it just so much harder. And the reason is, one, you're using the full focal length of the scope, so it's been really difficult for me to just like find the targets. It takes me a while to do that. The second thing is you're using the full focal length of the scope, like, probably like no reducer, definitely no reducer. You'll use a Barlow lens in most cases, so you'll get even higher magnification. And I'm just so terrible at it. I mean, that's one of those things that I've always wanted to really focus on and do, some good images. This is the best image I have of Jupiter. And, you can see from it, it's very blurry. Part of the reason why it's so hard is you get a lot of turbulence in the atmosphere. And so if the conditions aren't, exactly right, the images will come out blurry. Typically what you do in planetary photography is you take a video, and then from that video you use the software to kind of like pick the best frames and then stack those frames, and then you do your post-processing techniques to bring out the structures and the shapes and the details in the planet. So this year Saturn will be in opposition on August 2nd. And I plan to take a bunch of images of Saturn this year. I've never taken an image of Saturn, not like a serious one. And so I plan to do that this year. I am Team Saturn. Sorry, everybody. I think that there's some people who are Team Jupiter. I like Saturn. I think it's just so much cooler than Jupiter. But Jupiter's cool as well. But anyway, yeah, this year I wanna focus on that. And given that I have this Edge HD 11-inch scope that I really haven't taken full advantage of the full focal length, it'll be a fun project to take on this year. The last thing I wanted to focus on for this year was actually sharing the information that I'm learning along the way. So posting a lot more YouTube videos, posting tutorials. I do need to update my website and put more tutorials on there as well. And, we'd been talking for a very long time, my wife and I. So if you guys don't know, my wife actually produces a lot of all of the videos, and she's doing all the editing and all of that work as well. But we've been talking for a long time about doing this channel, and we finally did it in 2020. Now, we didn't put out as many videos as we wanted to in 2020, and in 2021, this is going to be like a big focus of ours. To put out a lot more videos and tutorials and things like that. So that's really appreciate you guys, coming on this journey with us and watching these videos. And I do want to say, if there's anything in particular that you want me to focus on, definitely put that in the comments, or any of the comments of any of the other videos of things that you guys want to see. So I'm happy to focus on those as well. And if these videos interest you, definitely subscribe and make sure that you get the notifications. That way, as we put out videos, you guys are getting notified, and you're kind of coming along this journey with us. So again, thanks a lot. Really appreciate you guys watching these videos and spending some time with us. And we'll see you next time. Bye.